Hello guys, my name's John, I'm the Geeky Fanboy, and yeah, I'm finally getting into Spider-Man stuff because, as I've noticed, I have not watched any of the Spider-Man movies that have come out in like the past 2 or 3 years. And one of the biggest ones that came out last year was Into the Spider-Verse, and I mean it was also nominated for Best animated picture in the Oscar during the Oscars, and even won an Oscar as far as I remember. And I remember seeing like bits and pieces of it, trailer, everything. I thought, oh yeah, it looked cool. And it's Marvel related and everything. But I never came around to watching it. I don't know why. It might be because, and I know that's not a nice thing to say, but I'm not a huge Spider-Man fan. I I've just never really been into the whole character that much, really, to be honest. I mean, I have seen the Tobey Maguire movies. I like them. Um, I've seen the. Have I seen the other ones before Tom Holland? I don't even know. Um, and apropos Tom Holland, I have not seen Tom Holland's Spider-Man movie, to be honest. But given that the second one is coming out now, I thought, okay, it's about time I catch up with some Spider-Man movies. And yeah, I'm gonna review Tom Holland's first Spider-Man um, movie, Homecoming. Was it? Is it called Homecoming? Yeah, I'm gonna review that too, since I actually want to watch now the new one that's coming out now. But yeah, this review is about Into the Spider-Verse. Okay, so my thoughts after watching the movie were good. I liked it. It's alright. I mean, clearly the animation style is absolutely gorgeous. It's unlike anything I've ever seen in recent animation movies. Because it perfectly encapsulates like this comic book style and brings it to the screen in moving pictures. Granted though, sometimes that could be a bit confusing. I thought, especially in the first couple of minutes, I thought, well, hang on, what's happening there? Because I don't know, sometimes it was just a bit too much or was too fast. Like it looked cool, but just at times it was too much on the screen or too much was going on, and I had a hard time following what was happening, and I wanted to appreciate the stuff that's happening on screen with the colors and everything, but I just couldn't because it was so much. But apart from that, gorgeous animation. I love the way everything looks. I love how they put in like little speech bubbles and all that, everything that you know from comic book pages, how they bring it into the movie and mostly make it work. I thought that was very, very clever. Okay, so the story about Miles Morales is alright. The thing is, I don't find Miles Morales that interesting or that likable. Like, I mean, I didn't hate him, of course I did, but I don't know, I just couldn't really connect with him, and almost every other Spider-Man we see, or Spider-Woman, we see in the movie is a lot more interesting than him. Like, Spider-Woman, for example, was so cool. I think she was probably my favorite character, Gwen. I liked her so much. I wanted the movie to be about her almost. We need a movie with her, like in that animation style with her, because I just loved her and her look was so good in that style. But yeah, like Miles, I get it, and I get his problems and everything, because like those problems are very relatable, and what all of his issues are. I just I don't know, I just had a hard time connecting with him or liking him, to the point where I was like, I don't really care. I care more about Peter B. Parker or whatever his name is. I want to know more about him because he's an old Spider-Man, middle-aged. I want to know what the hell happened to him. Speaking of which, Peter B. Parker, interesting character. Even though I'm not a big Spider-Man fan or fanboy or whatever, I always thought that Peter Parker could be a very, very interesting character if he wasn't always portrayed as a teenager or young adult. But here we have him like middle aged. He's got a bit of a belly and everything. I thought it was a bit cute even, and so we could explore what actually happens to him in other universes. I realized, okay, not everything always works out, and I thought that was very, very interesting. That you see, okay, it isn't always the great hero life that you have. There are other worlds where Spider-Man doesn't exist, where it's Spider-Woman or it's someone else who becomes Spider-Man because Peter Parker died. I thought that was very, very interesting, and I liked that they brought in like different versions of him more than just like older Peter Parker and Spider-Woman. I especially liked Noir Spider-Man, Spider-Man Noir, and the entire time I was like, whose voice is that? You know that voice from somewhere. And then I was like, that's Nicolas Cage. And I had not realized that Nicolas Cage was in this movie. But his voice works so well for this noir Spider-Man type, and I really like the animation style you have in like the noir flashbacks. This whole black and white and the trench coat and the hat. It looked so cool. The story was alright. It works for what it's trying to do because somehow you have to get all the other spider people into the universe, and of course they like try to teach Miles what it means to be Spider-Man and how you work this whole thing out. And it was nothing new, like nothing I didn't already expect, but that's not a problem. I think it's still a very enjoyable story, and it works for what it's trying to do, and it works for, you know, what they want you to pay attention to, namely that you have this special animation style and that you have different versions of Spider-Man, because that's basically the whole selling point of this, that you have different dimensions and different Spider-Mans. So yeah, I can't really say that much more about it because I didn't have that big of a reaction after watching it. Like, it's a nice movie. It's a gorgeous looking movie. Definitely deserves that Oscar if you ask me. I wouldn't mind watching another movie with one of the other characters, or even Miles. I mean, he's okay. Like, I wouldn't mind watching a second movie in that universe or in that style, or like with one of the other Spider-Man characters. That would be cool if we go into another dimension to find out what happened to them. I keep saying Spider-Woman. I want to know more about her because she was fantastic. Yeah, it's an entertaining movie. It's fun. It's a good thing for the family, I think, for Marvel fans, for younger people, for older people who are familiar with the Marvel franchise, and you're gonna have a good time watching it, I think. So yeah, those are my thoughts on Into the Spider-Verse. What are your thoughts on it? I know it's been a long time since the movie came out, but hey, you can still tell me down below if I'm right, if I'm wrong, or what you thought of the movie. Just put something down in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't done it already. I hope you enjoyed this little review, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.